Oh, there's so much to say about Ari. He was an intelligent, curious, playful, enjoyable little boy.
He loved life. He was funny. He was silly. He loved his dog.
He loved learning how to make people smile, learning how to make people laugh. He was like a little light wandering around in the world.
You would never know how much he had been through because he always was smiling. He was always a happy kid. Good morning.
Ari first became ill at about 5 months. He was exposed to a cold virus and began to become more ill from that than a normal child would.
He was airlifted to St. Louis, hospitalized for about 3 weeks. We couldn't figure out why he couldn't recover. So they initially thought it was a lung disease.
Every few days, doctors would say, we think in a few days he's going to get better. We think in a few days he's going to be able to breathe on his own. And it just didn't happen. So it wasn't until about he was 1 year old that he was hospitalized for another infection.
They did extensive genetic testing and found out he had something called hyper IgM syndrome, which is just a very rare 1 in a million immune disorder. And the only cure for that was a bone marrow transplant.
One of the first huge hurdles we had to cross was just getting a diagnosis and then understanding it. It was horrible.
It's incredibly isolating. It's incredibly overwhelming.
I was scared. It's our first grandchild. And so you just never expect that anything's going to happen.
Sharon and I would take turns going down to Carbondale, Illinois to help care for Ari. She would go down for 2 weeks at a time, then come back, and I would go down for 2 weeks at a time.
We wanted to be there just to provide support for mom and dad. And you know, I have a nursing background. My husband's a physician.
I love Craig and Sharon. Without that kind of help, we would have been very lost, and it would have been much more difficult.
We wanted to let him be a kid and have friends and see other kids. And we wanted him to just get to live the best life.
It is a buzz.
The only chance that Ari had was to find a match and get a bone marrow transplant.
If there's something in our control that we can do to find Ari a match, we will do that. That's how we got connected with NMDP.
Ari Chambers-Baltz is battling something called hyper IgM syndrome.
We would appreciate any help we can get.
My family started this massive effort to get as many people as possible to join the database.
We worked extensively with NMDP. They guided us through the whole process.
We were just happy that the people were willing to help, and we do anything we can to participate in that.
Oh my gosh, my family was amazing. It was all hands on deck.
I remember just thinking a lot family shows up. They always show up when you need them. We're really lucky.
We went to a lot of local universities, and we had such a good turnout, we went back 3 or 4 times and swabbed to 1,000 people.
I remember meeting with Dr. Ebens and her telling me that Ari has a match that she would use, and I was floored. I was like, wow, that's amazing.
When we found out that there was a match for Ari, I was ecstatic.
We went from a place where we didn't believe he had a shot to a place where we did, and that donor gave that to us.
So he came to transplant with a 7 of 8 unrelated donor who gave us bone marrow, and he went through transplant and he engrafted. He had no graft versus host disease. He did really well from that perspective. We worry about viruses. They can hang out in our body. They can become active at any time. The biggest challenges he faced were viral infections. So he had 3 within the first month of his transplant that were really just devastating.
He was not able to recover from that.
If we can't save Ari, then at least we could save the life of somebody else. The last time I checked, I think 20 people have been recipients of stem cell transplant because of the drives that we did for Ari.
This is a way to continue to honor him in his life, that this is something good that came from something really, really bad.
There's lots of things that you can't do in the midst of tragedy, but you can always be there, and you can always offer help when you can.
I would love Ari's parents and grandparents to know how impressed we are with how they've moved forward to provide meaning and hope, how they continue to give in the world. Ari would be so proud.
What we hope that this award will do is to spur other people on to continue with the work that needs to be done. Continuing Ari's legacy is being continued with the lives that he saved.